Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Peyton McDermott.
And I'm Jackie Myers. Let's take a look at the news. This morning, a new logo was introduced for the university. The new logo features the bee shield. According to the email sent this morning, the logo reflects the rich tradition and the institution and modern expression of the university brand. This will replace the current watermark starting immediately online and will start to make its way to print and signage over the time to minimize the cost to the university.
This past week, the Charlie Steiner College of Sports Communication and ACBU partnered up to present a special screening of the movie Concussion, starring Will Smith. Afterwards, a discussion panel was held to talk more about the movie and the sport of football.
The movie Concussion tells the story of a doctor who studies the brain damage caused by concussions in football players. The panel, hosted by Dr. Joshua Dickhouse, Dr. Steve Tippett, and Dr. Marwin J. Spiller, brought up issues presented in the movie and how they were being dealt with in the NFL as well as on Bradley's campus.
Bradley has such a protocol. And the nice thing about the protocol here at Bradley, as most of them do now, is a component called Return to Learn. And the Return to Learn is based upon the information that we have that students who go back to engage in any sort of brain activity, lights, sound, discussion, those activities retard their healing.
The movie, while bringing up a serious topic in football that needed to be addressed, was met with criticism by most audiences and did not perform well in the United States. Dr. Spiller explains his opinions on why the movie failed.
Why we enjoy watching other people engage in acts of violence for our own entertainment really says a lot about us. And we certainly don't want to be confronted with those realities for 2 hours.
While nothing can be done about the movie's box office performance, the panel certainly helped those who attended gain insight into the problems facing football in the 21st century. For BUTV News, I'm Chris Shearer.
Acting is not often thought of as a dangerous profession. However, with the increasing interest in bearing firearms on stage, safety should always come first. Megan Grott has more.
1, 2, 3.
This past Thursday, nationally renowned firearms expert and prop master Jim Guy taught Bradley University theater students the importance of firearm safety on stage. The season's final show, Our Country's Good, requires that 6 of the actors handle guns on stage. Stage manager Emily Goldman said that cast attendance was mandatory.
We use time period guns, and so we wanted to make sure that our actors knew how to be safe with those, and also we opened it to everybody in the department because this is a really good teaching lesson.
Many of the actors in Our Country's Good had never had a lesson in firearm safety. Jim Guy said this is all too common. Each year, there are new stories of firearms accidents in rehearsals and on stage. Guy notes that majority of these are from misuse or improper firearms handling and safety training.
There are a lot of plays that have guns in them, and that, for us, that makes these our tools. This is how we get the job done. It's, you know, it's just like a table saw. It's big, it's loud, it's scary, and it can kill you.
Though oftentimes guns used on stage have been remodeled to resist real fire, there's always a chance that something can go wrong.
It's good to have knowledge of how to deal with something, even if something could not happen. It's good to have that knowledge, and just in case. Safety is the best way to go.
Jim Guy's 6-hour-long presentation has been given to theaters all over the country, and he hopes to continue educating actors on how to be as safe as possible on stage. For BUTV News, I'm Megan Grote.
Last week, Bradley's Greek organizations hosted Greek Week. One of the Greek Week activities was the blood drive held throughout the second half of the week. The blood drive was held in the Performance Court in Markin Recreational Center. Students got the opportunity to donate blood. The students that donated blood also received a pint of Culver's ice cream. Students who were Greek were able to receive Greek Week points towards their teams. The team that had the most points by Sunday were the winners of Greek Week. Congratulations to Kappa Delta, Sigma Chi, and Theta Chi for winning this year's Greek Week.
While April Fool's Day is a time full of tricks and fun, many Bradley students found their source of entertainment for the day at Late Night BU. Let's find out more about the night with Chris Shearer.
The theme of this past Late Night BU was the Wild West. Students got to take their pick at a number of Old Western activities, including riding a mechanical bull and dancing along to country music from the Jack Cadillac Band. I asked around to find out what some Bradley students were enjoying about the evening's activities.
I really enjoyed the music. The band is fantastic.
I'm excited to see the acrobats.
Speaking of acrobats, Bradley students were given a special performance by the Chicago Boys, a group of young men from Chicago who placed second on the 8th season of America's Got Talent. You wouldn't have even had to go to the movie theaters this weekend to see superheroes when the Chicago Boys have jumpers they call Batman and Superman.
Well, it looks like it was another successful night for Late Night BU. We look forward to what they'll have in store for us next time. BUTV News, I'm Chris Shearer.
The Interactive Media Department is gearing up for its annual event called Fuse. It's a showcase for all IM students to display what they've created in their time here at Bradley. Last Friday, they gave a sneak peek of what they are working on. The goal was to get feedback from participants in order to protect their projects, There was a green screen, interactive touch table, new full surround sound headphones, and a fun app game called Wake Up Koala, and a virtual reality race game. All of these and more will be viewable at Fuse event on Saturday, April 30th at the Peoria Riverfront Museum. It is free to the public and opens up at 10 a.m.
Bradley's chapter of the Association for Women in Sports Media, or the AWSM, had its first meeting on Monday night. Students gathered at the GCC to hear two news anchors speak about their career experiences so far. Ryan Southwood has more.
But many students came out to get free pizza and hear from two WMBD news anchors. Clay Gordon and Lindsay Mills discussed their careers in journalism. They told the students how they had witnessed and experienced gender discrimination in the workplace. Jacqueline Clark, the president of the AWSM at Bradley, spoke at the beginning of the event. She emphasized that the group seeks to support women who may face inequality in a work environment.
We don't just focus on sports media. If you're a nursing major and this is something that interests you, you feel very strongly about gender equality in a workplace or anything like that, we would love to have you.
The news anchors also discussed their beginnings in journalism and how broadcast journalism differs from print journalism. This event was an opportunity for students to learn from local professionals and gain insight into the world of broadcasting.
They touched a lot on not only challenges they faced in the workplace, but how they got started and how it's really crucial for college students to make their own opportunities because not everything is given.
After the anchors were done speaking, students had the chance to ask them questions. In the future, the AWSM aims to unite students from all majors and fields.
In the future, we want to open it up to anybody, not just keep it sports related at all. And we feel that the Bradley campus can truly benefit from it, even though the title of our club does say sports media. It doesn't just have to relate to that specifically.
The turnout at this first AWSM event shows that the group has great potential to grow and attract students with many different career interests. For BUTV News, I'm Ryan Southwood.
Student recitals continue on as graduation draws near, and we have seen many different instrumental and voice recitals, but this one was a percussion recital by senior Mateusz Kosharek. Mateusz is a senior majoring in percussion performance, music business, and Spanish. He presented his percussion recital on Saturday, April 2nd, with many in attendance. The recital included different compositions that utilized a variety of percussion instruments, including a solo on the timpani to a duet on the marimba. He ended the recital with a full percussion ensemble led by teacher Peggy Bonner. With the completion of the student recital, Mateusz was able to complete the requirements for his bachelor's degree.
The president and CEO of BBDO New York was in Peoria last Thursday giving a presentation for the 40th Annual McCord Lecture. Megan Grote has the story.
The Hayden Clark Alumni Center was buzzing with early risers Thursday morning for the 40th Annual McCord Lecture Series. Guest speaker, President and CEO of BBDO New York, John Osborne, discussed the advertising industry. In a day and age where advertising is becoming more avoidable, Osborne lectured on the importance of remaining tough and innovative. He revealed some of the qualities of BBDO employees that make the company great.
You know, sometimes when somebody walks into a room and you can feel the air just get sucked out of it? That's no good, right? We like to be radiators, not drains.
Advertising is a great industry because it's a business that's built for business, and I think business is good. Business, when it acts the right way, is really great for society.
His enthusiasm and optimism about advertising come from a personal aspiration that Osborne says he has always been called to fulfill.
I consider myself as someone who is sort of born to serve the clients, serve the greater world. If the folks that are watching this feel the same way, then look into advertising.
Though much of his lecture was geared toward the faculty and staff in attendance that morning, Osborne had some advice for students who are still looking for a calling, those who are near the end of their college careers, and anyone else willing to listen.
Definitely network and be indomitable. You know, don't be relentless, but don't get knocked down without getting back up again. You will get knocked down, but I think ultimately your success will be defined on how fast you rebound back. Don't stay down.
Breaking into the world of business can be tricky, but Osborne prompted that people who are up for a challenge ought to take on the advertising industry. For BUTV News, I'm Megan Grote.
Coming up next, Megan will bring us a check of our weather live from outside.
And Katie will bring us some entertainment news. We'll be right back after these messages.
Oh my goodness, that was the best party of the year.
I know, right?
It's getting late. I don't want to walk home alone.
Too bad we live in two separate directions.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Hey, I just wanted to call you so I don't have to walk home alone. It's so creepy out here. I thought I heard something, like someone following me. I'm gonna call you back.
Yes.
Not you. Sorry.
It's been an absolutely crazy week in terms of weather. It was windy all weekend, and now it's starting to rain. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts snowing tomorrow. My gosh, hopefully it gets a little better.
Yeah, we're going to go outside in Olin Hall to Megan to check in the weather. Hi, Megan.
Hi, guys. I'm out here on Olin Quad. What started off to be a pretty gloomy day in Peoria has cleared up substantially. As you can see, it's just a little overcast. It is 52 here on the quad, but we will see a little bit of rain continued on through this weekend. No snow, luckily. However, there was a little bit of snow prediction for Friday. We will not see that this weekend. It's just rain, a little bit of sunshine, but overall pretty consistent. We're going to look into the radar maps now. There was that bulk of the storm that went through already. That already hit us this afternoon. As I did say, there will be some scattered storms throughout the weekend. So starting tonight around 8 p.m., we're going to see a little bit of rain then. And that will be the bulk of it for this evening. And looking into the temperature maps, this is a very consistent temperature weekend for us. We're going to see around the 50s pretty much as a high. We're going to dip down into the 30s as a low at night. That's pretty usual for no sun, but pretty consistent. Like I said, 50-degree high, which is good. And looking into the 5-day forecast now, like I said, we're going to see scattered storms throughout the weekend. A little bit of sun there on Saturday, but the storms will clear up tonight. That one that will come and hit us on 8 p.m. tonight will continue through the evening, and then we'll clear up for Thursday. We're going to get a little bit of overcast there, but no rain. Friday, we're going to see a high of 46 and a low of 27 in the evening with scattered storms throughout the evening. A high of 45 and a low of 31 on Saturday with some sunshine. A high of 55, a low of 51 on Sunday. A little bit warmer there, but we are going to get some scattered thunderstorms throughout the day. And more rain there on Monday, 55-degree high and a 34-degree low. It's pretty consistent for April. That phrase, April showers bring May's flowers, is continuing on through this weekend, as we can see. So it's going to be pretty rainy, but it's going to be a beautiful April if we get enough rain, and we're going to keep that consistent high temperatures. We're going to see this quad really blooming over the next couple of weeks. It's just really exciting for the spring. So that's all we have for the weather out here on Olin Quad for you. We're going to throw it back into the studio with Katie Crowley for entertainment. Katie?
Nick Cannon is shooting an episode of MTV's Wild and Out at the Renaissance Coliseum at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Doors open at 7 p.m. and the performance starts at 8 p.m. Tickets are available at the Student Activities Office, which is located in the basement of the Student Center. Tickets for students are either $1 in cash or free with the donation of a non-perishable food item to be donated to the Peoria Food Bank. All seating for the performance is general admission. Students will not be allowed to enter unless you have a Bradley ID with you. Hope to see you there. This past weekend was a big weekend for all types of music lovers with the iHeartRadio Music Awards as well as the American Country Music Awards. Both award shows were packed with awesome performances and many talented people taking home awards. At the first iHeartRadio Music Awards, Taylor Swift took home Female Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, and Best Tour. Justin Bieber took home Male Artist of the Year, and Fetty Wap took home Best New Artist. For the American Country Music Awards, Chris Stapleton took home Male Artist of the Year, New Male Vocalist of the Year, Song of the Year, and Album of the Year. Miranda Lambert took home Female Vocalist of the Year and Vocal Event of the Year. Kelsey Ballerini took home New Female Vocalist of the Year, and Jason Aldean was the Entertainer of the Year. They were both great shows. Anna Bailey, a second-year medical student at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Peoria, has created an art show fundraiser to help incoming students purchase essential medical equipment. Students are required to purchase certain medical equipment that can be very expensive, and this fundraiser will help to offset some of those costs. The Art and Medicine fundraiser will feature paintings, sculptures, dance, and song performances, and other art. It will be April 8th at the UICOMP building in downtown Peoria from 6 to 8 p.m. and refreshments will be provided. The event is free and open to the public, but they will accept donations.
Well, thanks, Katie. I'm looking forward to the Nick Cannon. Are you going?
Unfortunately, I can't because I have dance practice, but I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, we'll be there, so
Yeah.
we're going to have a really good time.
Yeah.
So it'll be a great night for sure. Plenty of comedy. So when we come right back, President Roberts will be here to join us.
And later we have golf and baseball highlights. Stay with us.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
President Gary Roberts has been a Bradley graduate for 46 years now and has led an illustrious career as a practitioner of law across the country. He was Vice Dean of Tulane University Law School for 24 years. Then from 2007 to 2013, President Roberts went to become Dean Emeritus and Professor of Law of McKinley School of Law at Indiana University in Indianapolis. Now he sits here with us today at BUTV News as President of Bradley University. Hi, President Roberts, how are you?
I'm pretty good for an old guy.
That's the spirit.
So could you tell us how has your first semester been here as president?
So far so good. I'm still standing and they haven't fired me yet, but no, it's been interesting and fun. Everybody's been very welcoming and very nice, and I'm just learning an awful lot.
Now, as a Bradley grad yourself, obviously we mentioned that a little earlier. Do you have any stories or memories that you want to share? Because obviously things are a little different from back then for students now on campus.
I'm not sure most of the memories I'd want to share.
Oh, that's fair.
No, this is a place that in many ways is very similar to what it was. I think that Bradley's always been a great undergraduate institution that gives young people the experiences that it's going to allow them to develop skill sets and knowledge that will carry them well through life. And I think that was true then, and I think it's true now. So there really hasn't been anything that's much of a surprise. The campus is obviously much nicer and more built up than it was when I was here. You got a beautiful rec center and the Renaissance Center, and you know, everything is in much better shape. But as far as what we do here and the kind of people we have here, it's pretty much the same.
Great. So what are the main issues you're currently focusing on for our campus?
Well, there's money, and there's money, and there's money. Now, and we do have financial challenges, but most of those financial challenges are driven by enrollment issues. And there's many complicated pieces to that puzzle. We need to run the admissions office in a very strategic and targeted way. We need to make sure that our programs are attractive to the marketplace. We need to identify the kinds of students in the kinds of areas and high schools that are likely to come here. We need to go after more international students. We're way below our peer institutions in terms of the number of international undergraduate students we have. So there's just a lot of different things we need to pay attention to. Our retention rates could be a little higher than they are right now too. So there's a lot of things we're working on and going to have to take a look at.
Absolutely. So I know you mentioned earlier that the rec center is obviously nice since your time when you were Bradley grad, but obviously we've had Heights that was remodeled, redone, as well as Westlake. Do you have any other buildings that you're interested in remodeling or kind of undergoing a treatment of sorts?
Well, the dorms I think need a facelift, and the library is looking pretty shabby, but we're going to fix that this summer. But yeah, the campus is so much nicer. When I was here, the gym was what's now the theater, and it was a rundown building then that a good wind would have blown over. So yeah, there's just a lot of buildings that are much nicer. But today, I'd say the library and the dormitories could use some facelifts. And then, of course, we're trying to raise the money to get our new Convergence Center built so we can get the engineering and business schools into a nice new state-of-the-art facility.
So what are the recent updates for the campus of students in the future? What are the recent updates that you're looking at moving forward with the students?
What do you mean by an update?
So I know you had featured plans for campus and stuff. So what can students look for with those featured plans?
Programs that are relevant, and the Convergence Center. I think that Bradley is in good, solid shape, and I think that the students who are here, most of the ones I've talked to, are very happy with what's here. We could always use better food on campus, but for the most part, we're not planning any revolutionary changes, but we are looking at the kinds of things we've just been talking about.
Awesome. So obviously, we had a Princeton review come out, and it said that we ranked our game design program incredibly high here on campus, which is fantastic. So how can we leverage something like that, the success of our video game design major and our program, and bring it to like the success of other majors? And how can we use this huge publicity boost with this cool Princeton review?
Well, a good, I think, strategic marketing initiative is called for. Our speech team is great.
Absolutely.
We've got some other academic programs that are nationally well known. You have to leverage that. As I tell people, if our basketball team would go to the Final Four, that would help. But anything that you have that is nationally distinctive, you need to figure out ways to market that effectively. And we have several things that we should be very, very proud of, and I think we can use to get our name out there.
Okay, so lastly, what's your favorite part about being president of Bradley University?
Getting that underground parking space at the men's basketball games.
I can't even imagine. That'd be nice.
And you don't even have to wear a coat or worry about the rain or anything. It's really great. No, there are a lot of perks that can come with the job, and for the most part, I've turned most of them down. You get a car if you want one. I'm driving my own car. I don't look at the job as anything really special.
I mean, if you're passing up on the car, I think one of the head anchors here could probably use the car if you're offering.
You probably couldn't pay the taxes on the value of it, but in any event, so the perks are fairly minimal, but that parking space at the men's basketball games is nice.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Last December, the Peoria Park Zoo saw new arrivals. Up to 3 lion cubs were born. But now the cubs are old enough to be out and about in their exhibit. John McDermott has the full story.
Excitement at the zoo had been building for some time, especially in the lion enclosure. Last Wednesday, 3 new female lion cubs were introduced to the media for the first time. The various news outlets were also invited to come into the lion exhibit and meet the cubs. According to the staff, the cubs do not have names yet, but that will change soon.
Starting Monday, you can actually go to our website and link on Cub Update, which will take you to the site that you can help us name them, put your vote in for a name. There will be 3 names offered for each of the 3 girls, and you can vote on one of those names for them.
Though they are still young, the 3 lion cub sisters are starting to develop personalities of their own.
One of the little cubs has had a little rougher time at life, and so some of them, she's scrappy and she's a fighter, and so we tried to come up with names that would match that personality. There's another one, she's just sort of the curious one, the one that's always out front, the one that's kind of guarding the others, so they each have their own personalities, and we just tried to match those names that would fit them later in life.
The cubs provided many memorable antics for the visitors, but they are one of many that inhabit the African section of the zoo. As the number of animals increase, the role the zoo plays for the city of Peoria also continues to grow.
It's an amazing attraction for the Peoria area. We educate tons of people every year, learning about different species, learning about different conservation efforts and movements. And so it's an important little jewel right here in Peoria.
For BUTV News, I'm John McDermott.
Coming up next, Amanda brings us our spring sports news.
And later, upcoming events on campus. We'll be right back.
For too long, there's been too much silence.
We've stepped back when we should have stepped up.
We lack the bravery to have the tough conversations.
It stops now.
It stopped with us.
As campus leaders, we recognize that sexual assault is a real problem.
And it's time to take action.
We're standing together as a community because this issue affects all of us.
And we can only end it if we are braver together.
Starting now, we don't look the other way. We make it a move and do something
before it's too late.
We promote a culture of respect for all students.
We say something even when it's easier to remain silent.
We stand up for survivors.
We never blame them.
We hold our friends, our leaders, our teammates,
and ourselves accountable for our actions.
And when we see something wrong, we're brave enough to interrupt. We say something.
We do something. We watch out for each other.
Always.
Being a Bradley Brave means
ending the silence.
Together, we can work to end sexual assault and rape culture in our community. Together, we can do the right thing.
Together, we can do the brave thing.
Make your move and stand with us.
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 And we can all be braver together.
Well, I'm excited that you're here to share some good news. We've apparently had a great spring semester. It's looking great. Plenty of wins, plenty of records as well. I'm excited that we have some good news to talk about.
We really are setting a lot of records. And to get started with that, Michael Ward is a real front runner for the Bradley University men's track team. The sophomore has been named the Missouri Valley Conference Male Scholar Athlete of the Week after setting some records this past Friday at the Stanford Invitational. Ward finished the 5,000-meter event with a time of 13 minutes, 54 seconds, and 49 milliseconds, breaking the MVC record set in 2014, as well as Bradley University's record. Ward has a cumulative grade point average of 3.81, which far surpasses the minimum requirement to qualify as an MVC Scholar Athlete. Congratulations, Michael, on both your athletic and academic accomplishments. The Bradley University softball team wrapped up its final game of the non-conference portion of the season yesterday against Southern Illinois University Evansville. Senior Allison Clemente led the team, going 3 for 3, hitting one of Bradley's 2 home runs and 4 RBI. A sophomore Maria Schroeder contributed the other home run and helped the Braves to a 7-2 win over the Salukis. This weekend is your chance to see the team in action as they will be continuing a 7-game homestand at Lower Bradley Park against Northern Iowa. The 3-game series opens with a doubleheader this Saturday at noon. Ariel Detcher has become the winningest player in the history of women's tennis at Bradley University and has done it with plenty of time left in her career. The junior broke the school record set in 2007 by Terry Chan. Detcher teamed up with sophomore Amy Manfredo at number 2 doubles to secure her 115th win in Saturday's Missouri Valley Conference opener at the Evergreen Racquet Club. She then would break Chan's record at number 1 singles against ISU, winning the first 2 sets of the match, finishing the day with 116 combined wins at singles and doubles. As a junior, we are certain she will continually set the bar higher with the rest of the season, and not to mention her senior year. Congratulations, Ariel.
Well, thank you so much, Amanda. We appreciate it.
All right, well, coming up next, we got some campus events to share with you.
And our weekly musical guest to close the show. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Vivo's Do It Yourselfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old t-shirt.
It's not garbage, it's actually a brand new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I've just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's $5.47.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
And now a look for some upcoming events on Bradley's campus. The student body officer debate will start at 7 p.m. Candidates will discuss their plans and platforms. Those in attendance will have the opportunity to ask questions as well as mingle with the candidates. This is in anticipation of the student body officer elections next week. You can vote online next Monday through Tuesday. Go to the Student Senate website for the voting link, and students will also be voting on the smoke-free referendum throughout these elections. Now, there are a lot of athletic events coming up this weekend. Baseball takes on Missouri State Friday night at 6 p.m. and Saturday at noon. Tennis team takes on Southern Illinois Saturday at 10 a.m. The softball team has a doubleheader against Northern Iowa at noon and 2:30 on Saturday. And the men's golf hosts their Bradley Invitational on Sunday starting at 8 a.m. on Sunday. Get the full schedule and details, including weather changes, on BradleyBraves.com. Barbecue Kitten will be hosting a show this upcoming weekend on Saturday, April 9th. The shows will take place at 7:30 and 10 p.m. They are a collection of sketches, comedy sketches, that you would see on Saturday Night Live and SNL. The show is entitled Second Kitty, and the tickets will run you $4 unless you show up in a Bradley t-shirt, a Barbecue Kitten t-shirt, and the tickets will go off half off. And, well, that's it for Bradley BUTV News this week. I am Peyton McDermott.
I'm Amanda Filio.
I'm Katie Crowley.
And I'm Jackie Myers. We leave you tonight with a performance from the Res Life Staff Band. Have a great night.
Everybody loves the things you do, from the way you talk to the way you move. And everybody here is watching you. Could you feel like home? You're like a dream come true. But if by chance you're here alone, can I have a moment before I go? 'Cause I've been by myself all night long, hoping you're someone I used to know.
Come on, let it go. Just let it be. Why don't you be you and I'll be me? Oh, everything that's broke, leave it to the breeze. Let the ashes fall. Forget about me. So baby, let it go. Throwing clothes across the floor, to teething claws and slamming doors on you. If this is all we live it for, why are we doing it anymore? I used to recognize myself. It's funny how reflections change. When we becoming something else, I think it's time to walk away.
Let me photograph you in this light.